If you have nothing good to say, it's okay to sometimes say nothing. I'm a very strong person. Even if I'm struggling with some issues at the moment, I'm not going to kill myself. Y'all up there are not going to drive me to kill myself. Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mimi of Just Doing Me. I got a little bit of a different backdrop today. I'm filming in my bedroom. Just a bit warmer, a bit cozy, a bit easier for me today. But I wanted to do a reaction to a video that I watched yesterday that Patricia released because it really resonated with me. So I just thought I'd rewatch it with you guys and just share some of my thoughts because some of the stuff that she said rang so true. I do want to say it right at the start of this video because I know some people will only watch the title and start commenting without, you know, even thinking or without even wanting to know what it's about. Patricia is I don't watch YouTube that much anymore, I'm not even gonna lie to you, but her and Jackie Aina are still two of my favourite YouTubers, alongside with Jayla Corian. But Jayla, sometimes, you know, I'll go through like periods where I won't watch her for ages and I'll binge watch her, but they are three of my favourite YouTubers, and I absolutely love what they've done for black women in terms of YouTube and influencing space. But all three of them I wouldn't say I called them out, but I did say their name in a video that I did last year about the unrealistic standards of beauty women are being held to. So I'll put that out there. I stand by that video 100%. What this video is going to really be about today is online bullying, really. Online bullying. People feeling like they can say whatever they want to say to you without having any thought to how it affects you, the repercussions, you know. And I'm someone that I just don't work in that way. For me to come out and speak on something, it must be because I feel very passionately about it. The same way when I filmed that video, I was very passionate about the fact that a lot of women I felt were going to be impacted by seeing so many celebrities and quite a number of YouTubers chasing after these unrealistic body standards. There are other YouTubers in the past that I've commented on their videos. Actually, I can only think of two, to be quite honest. Jenny Jenkins, I commented when people were kind of bashing her about the fact that she was tearing down Rihanna's Fenty line, and this was before she then came back and said it was such a great line. But I commented when she was, she didn't understand why people were tearing her down. I commented maybe that's because, you know, Fenty did something for the black community and black women, and you know, all across Fenty had 40 shades in all skin tones, but Fenty was the first brand really that on the mainstream and such a, I say mainstream, it was really YouTube that really helped the launch of that product. But Fenty did something that made a lot of people feel like they were included, made a lot of women in different skin tones feel like, you know, they mattered and they had been heard. So when Jenny was saying she didn't understand the backlash of people like, why didn't you have this energy for Kim Kardashian and her launch, you know, I shared my opinion like, look, you know, this is wider than just makeup. This is an issue that affects women of different colours. Often feel like we can't be heard. I feel like I would bash, you know, other brands, or I keep silent, you know, before I tore down one of the most influential black makeup brands. And for me, I feel like that is so important when it comes to criticising or offering your opinion. If it's not for something that's really important, like how women see themselves, standards of beauty, you know, inclusivity, if it's not for something like that, you know, not every opinion really needs to be shared. Everybody has a right to their opinion, don't get me wrong, but not every opinion is gold worthy. Not every opinion needs to be broadcasted from the rooftops. My sister always says something, God, this is a long intro. My sister always says something, she's like, almost everyone can handle criticism. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. People think I can't handle criticism. That's not it at all. You know, if you don't like my hair, you don't like the way I dress, you don't like this about me, it's fair enough. You know, I may meet you and I could, you know, dislike everything about you too. We're all entitled to the way that we feel. But I would never go and tell someone, oh, I don't like what you're wearing, I don't like the way, I don't like this about you, because it's just not necessary. Do I really expect that person to change who they are or what they like because of me, stranger on the internet or person that doesn't know them? No, unless it's a wider issue that, you know, has a deeper impact. I know to keep my negative thoughts to myself. Now, everybody doesn't have to do this. You can obviously say, I don't like this about you, I don't like that about you. Where I draw issue for me personally is people wanting to tear you down for likes, to go viral, to be like, oh girl, you had that comeback, you let her know you read her. You know, they would want to drag you to pieces for no apparent reason. What do you actually get out of that? You don't like, okay, so let me put another, I don't even know what this video is going to turn out like because I'm already going off on a tangent before I've even started reacting. But I remember, it must have been earlier this year, Lydia Dinger actually, do you know, I have a lot of YouTubers in the UK that I actually watch a lot now. Lydia Dinger, Nella Rose, like representing in the UK, so I will just shout them out quickly as well. But Lydia, there was a vlog that she did. I think her hairstylist had given her a wig, and let's just say the wig wasn't the best wig she'd probably ever worn, and almost 80% of the comment section was about the wigs. And that's fair enough, you don't like the wig. I personally didn't like the wig, but I'm the kind of person that I can keep those types of things to myself. I don't actually feel the need, but I understand that some people, you know, I don't know, some people want to be heard, some people whatever, that's absolutely fine. But there was this one comment that was like, love you girl, but that wig is trash. I've never seen you look more unattractive. Girl, who lied to you? Like, they really came for her. And at the time I saw that comment, it must have had like over 300 likes. And just reading the comment section, it made me very sad for her, because being in that situation myself in the past and having thousands, hundreds and thousands of people, you know, coming at you over something that we all have bad hair days, we all make negative hair choices. I felt like I had to say something to that commenter, and I said to her, look, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Like, my sister has really, thank you girl, thank you girl. And you know, Lydia responded back and she was like, thank you, I really appreciate it. We can all take criticism, we can all stand here that actually we got that thing wrong, it wasn't quite right, but there's no need to drag somebody for filth in the process of it. Now, my video about Jayla, Jackie and Patricia, I didn't drag anyone. It's not in my nature, it never will be. I said what I felt was necessary for a lot of women to hear. Some people may not agree with it, but I know in my delivery, I didn't come for anyone, I didn't drag anyone, I wasn't negative to anyone. Those three YouTubers that I mentioned them because they are my favourite. They're the three that have impacted me the most in my journey as a YouTuber, as well as a viewer of YouTube. You know, and I feel like that's so important to say. Even if Patricia Bright watched that video, honestly, I don't think she'd be offended, because I didn't come for her. You know, we can all take criticism. It's how you deliver it. It's what you say. It's, are you trying to help that person, or are you just trying to break them down? Now, I recently, do you know, I might not even react to this video. Girl, it's long. But you guys can go watch the video for yourself. I recently, what was it, had a comment on my page. Someone, I posted a picture, I'll put it here probably, and a girl commented saying, I love you girl, but you're looking like somebody that sells sex on the street. So basically she was like, you look like a prostitute, you look like a whore. And for me, I was just like, how sweet, how can you in one breath be saying that you love me but be calling me a prostitute like 2 seconds later? How does that work? Now, you guys know I've been very open and candid about the fact that my mum does not like the way that I dress. When I dress a bit more risque, I don't always dress that way, but yes, if your girl wants to go out, turn up and skin out, she will, she can, she will flaunt it, because she's got it, okay? You know, and my mum, like, whenever she sees like a picture, I go, like, let me like this picture. But I can never ever comprehend my mum saying to me, you look like a prostitute, ashawo, you look like, never, because that's what love is. If you love someone and you're giving them constructive criticism, that's another one that people like to hide behind. Oh, I was just giving constructive criticism. No, because nobody's going to hear the constructive part of what you're saying when it's delivered in such a rude and disrespectful manner. The constructiveness is completely lost by the disrespect and the nastiness, and some people can't comprehend that. So let me say it again to you. The constructiveness is completely lost by the disrespectfulness and the rudeness. Nobody's going to hear the positivity in your message if what you're trying to do is be negative and nasty. That's when I make a video where I'm trying to articulate a point about women not bowing to social pressure. I said very clearly, look, if you want to have surgery, have surgery. If you want to do this, respect yourself. Like, I'm not policing anybody's body, but this is what's going on in society, this is what is happening, and we have to be careful. And I try and deliver my message in a way that the message isn't lost, the message isn't negative. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that that is so important. When you love someone, you don't come for their neck. You know, my friends would never come at me in such a disrespectful manner and tell me, well, it's because I'm your friend, girl. No, my friends would be like, girl, sit down, let's talk. Like, what's the situation? Talk to me, you know. And that's the truth of it. Some of you guys hide behind And first of all, have you thought about what your constructive criticism is actually meant to achieve? I'm 30 years old, I'm grown. A lot of you are grown out there. If I told you I don't like this about you, are you going to change because of me? Probably not. So sometimes, what is your criticism actually meant to achieve? Everybody has to live their lives. Of course people have hairstyles I don't like. Of course people wear dresses I don't like. Of course people have viewpoints I don't like. People have opinions I don't like. But it's not by force for me to tell them I don't like it. It is not by force. What do I add to the conversation, unless it's a serious topic, unless it's something that impacts several people, unless it's something that, like, you know, has a grander scale? Why would I bother to tell you I don't like your hairstyle? You know, you have nothing good to say, don't say anything. I feel like sometimes I can be quite naive, because that's a rule that I personally live by. And I feel like people will live by it too. And I'm like, so let me know your thoughts, guys, whatnot. And I say it quite casually. It's just something that I think I've got into the habit of saying. I don't say that anymore because people use that as free reign to let you have it. And me, I don't want to be had. I don't want to be having it. Okay, I don't, you know. If you have nothing good to say, it's okay to sometimes say nothing, or at least pose your, you know, criticism in a manner that people will hear the constructive aspect of it. And like when it comes to online bullying, people say, oh, you should just ignore it, you should just let it go, you should just give it a pass. I'm sorry, but it's like being bullied in school as a kid, and like teachers saying, well, there's nothing you can do, kids are cruel, kids are mean, you just have to, like, it's part of going through school, just get on with it. No, there is something you can do. You can address it. You can stamp out that culture of bullying and let that kid who's experiencing it know that they are safe. You know, that this platform or this area where they come to school to learn is a safe place for them to be. You know, the rate of suicides in young children, I won't even say teenagers, young children, young kids, or early teens really killing themselves because of online bullying. I'm not talking about influencers, just online bullying, nasty comments on Facebook, nasty comments, you know, in school plays. These things are real issues, and it's just as bad to condone it or say, well, nothing you can do about it, it just comes with the territory. It's just as bad to be that way and think that way as it is to actively open your mouth and bully somebody. You know, people shouldn't have to take insult after insult after insult, disrespect after disrespect, rudeness after rudeness. People shouldn't have to take it. It affects you mentally. People are killing themselves. There's this 16-year-old girl. I had to go and like Google her. I think her name's Alicia Daniels. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen. I had to go Google her because I cried actually last year when I read her story.
When I tell y'all, man, this is so sad, bro. Like, this is so sad. This the number one reason why I never talk negative for nobody, leave no hate comments. I always just try to stay positive, because you never know what people go through. Like, you know what I mean? Behind this social media stuff.
16-year-old Instagram influencer, probably one of the most beautiful young women I've ever seen in my life, took her life due to online bullying. 16. Hasn't even had a chance to experience the world. And I remember just bawling my eyes out, because I've had a friend as well, like my best friend, took her own life. Not due to online bullying, but there was somebody in her life that made her life very unbearable. So suicide always tends to hit me personally. And I always get emotional when I talk about it. But like seeing, and when I googled and I was trying to find the name of this girl, I think I just put in teenage influencer takes her own life, and the amount of names and stories that came up that weren't this girl just from 2019 really shocked me. I was like, rah, this is such a big issue, and people trying to minimize it and saying just comes with the territory, just take it on the chin. You do nothing to help, you know. People need to feel like if they're being attacked, they have the platform to speak up and say, no, this is not okay, because forcing people to swallow it and sit back and think there's nothing they can do about it is what is leading these people to think, well, there's nothing I can do about it except for end it. They feel like people don't have their back, people don't understand what they're going through. Stop condoning bullying in any shape or form. It's not acceptable, and you know, it's sad. It's so sad. I really feel like there's no other profession in the world that has as high mental health issues, or as high rates of mental health issues, than the influencing, you know, community. Like, you see people all the time struggling with mental health. I've spoken about it. I personally never thought I'd be someone who would ever go through something like that, but wow, this is really not a reaction to Patricia's video. But you know, she did inspire it, because it was so nice to hear from somebody else who does what I do and who's made a very similar decision to me. You guys know that a few weeks ago I decided, like, I was done with sharing my personal life. I have been attacked so many times about my personal life in the last 4 years that I've been on YouTube, and in my opinion very unnecessarily so. You wouldn't date the person I'm dating, okay, fair enough. You're not dating them, I am. You know, you wouldn't do some of the things I've done, okay, fair enough. You didn't do it, I did. You know, there's so much negativity in the way that people speak to you. Patricia said it, it's like she felt dehumanized, and I'd never thought of it that way. People don't see you as a human being anymore. There's that detachment through the computer screen. You would never come up to a person in real life and say, oh, he's not into you, he's just using you for sex, or he would dump you the minute he finds what he's looking for. You would never be that disrespectful to a stranger that you don't know in the real life. You would never call somebody you don't know a whore in the real life, at least not without expecting to be knocked out. You would never do those things. But there's a detachment and a dehumanization on the internet where you feel like it's okay to say whatever you want, say it without a filter, and that's not okay. That's not okay. And I feel like, you know, people say, oh, you just have to get on with it. No, I feel like if I need to be an advocate for this, I will be an advocate for it. If I see it happening in other YouTubers' comment sections, I will show them support. I will let them know they're not alone in this fight, and I will call out people who are unnecessarily rude. Critique if you want, voice your opinion if you want. We all have them, but no need to be unnecessarily rude and insensitive in the process. And you know, Patricia was just talking about how she's no longer sharing, you know, her personal life anymore, and I felt that. I really felt that. It really resonated with me. There was a bit as well that she talked about when she shared about buying out or paying off her mortgage for her property. There were some reaction videos to that. I actually watched one of them, and the video I watched, this young woman, I actually quite like some of her videos as well, but she was basically saying that Patricia was a liar, that she hadn't actually bought or paid off her mortgage, and you know, basically just calling her out about what she said. And I saw Patricia commenting in the comment section, like, actually, and explaining how everything works. And I just thought, when I was watching the video, I was like, how do you actually know? How on earth would you actually know what Patricia's finances are, that you came and made this video saying that she was lying? How would you actually know? And people do that a lot to me. He's this, he's that, you're this, you're that. How do you actually know? There's this sense of entitlement. I feel like you feel like you know a person because you watch them, or you know what's going on in your life because you watch 5 minutes of a vlog. Like, sometimes there needs to be like a step back and chill. Like, actually, I've only seen 2%. I don't have access to her bank account. I don't have access to her mortgage. I don't have access to this, that, and the other. Let me just chill. Let me just chill. Okay? You know? And also Raven Navira, I saw her a few weeks back now. She kind of came back to YouTube showing more of her personal life, and she did a video about why she'd actually gone away. And she said quite candidly that she found a website dedicated to her where these people were bashing her. And I never asked her because I don't know her like that. She doesn't know me, but I had a feeling it's the same website that bashed me, the same website that have a forum dedicated to me, because they seem to have a thing about black women who date outside of their race. They like, whew, boy, do they really go in. And I commented like a little bit of support for her, even though I didn't really go into like, girl, I've been through there or whatnot. I just wanted her to know that she had that support, and if she wanted to share her personal life again, like, we had her back completely. But I just thought it was so sad again that the same thing keeps happening, you know, people having to make executive decisions for their sanity, for their relationship, for their peace of mind, because certain people out there feel so entitled to say what they want, dissect everything, and sometimes it's not okay. Thousands and thousands of people doing that to you is not okay. Hundreds of people doing that to you is not okay. I think each of us can handle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negative comments, but the issue a lot of influencers have is that it's heightened to such an extent that you can't drown it out. It really starts to affect you, and it was affecting my relationships where, you know, me and Gabriel would be in such a good place one day, and then I would read all these comments about how, you know, all these women's opinions on what a relationship is or what will happen if a guy likes you, and I would just attack him for no reason. So I really felt it when Patricia said, like, you know, vlogging a lot and letting people into her private life was really starting to affect her personal relationship, not just with her husband, but I think also with her friendships. So yeah, I've had to kind of make that executive decision for me, and maybe like Raven, when I feel a bit stronger in my mental health, I'll come back and I'll share a bit more. But for now, that's kind of how I feel about it. I've spoken about it before, but for people telling me just take it on the chin, negativity comes with the territory, criticism comes with the territory. I can handle negativity, I can handle criticism. What I can't handle is downright rudeness and hate. Hate is what sometimes I just feel coming through the screens at me. I've said it before, sometimes like I'll post a video and it's like I'm done. Like, I'm too scared to go into my comment section because everybody will have an opinion, people will be extremely negative, and sometimes it's too much for my little soul to bear. When Patricia was saying like she can handle criticism, but what she can't handle is not being able to fight back, not being able to share her own thoughts, not being able to, like, you know, voice her own opinions to the people that are attacking her. And she thought it was childish. No, darling, it's not childish. It's human nature. Someone tried to call me childish the other day because I was clapping back at someone who called me a whore. I'm not childish, but darling, you call me a whore to my face in person, I'm knocking you out. So do not expect anything different from me over the internet. Keep expecting people to take the high road, take the high road. That's what's leading to a lot of suicide. People feeling like there's no escape, they have no voice, they can't use their voice, they're just being attacked constantly and there's nothing they can do about it. Someone sent me a message today about all the K-pop stars who have killed themselves this year because they come from a culture where they're meant to be so respectful and take criticism on the chin, and you know, it really F's you up. Anyway, this has been a rant. It did not go at all how I planned for it to go, but if one person sees this video and it changes the way they think and it stops them from posting 1, 2, 3 negative comments on other people's videos, and that stops that other person from feeling like they're constantly being attacked, then honestly that's enough for me. But I'm never going to stop saying it's not okay to be that disrespectful to people. Have your opinions, voice your opinions, have your criticisms, voice your criticism, but don't let the constructiveness of what you have to say get lost in negativity and hate. Watch your delivery, watch how you speak to people in a manner that you would want them to speak to you. I don't want to come here preaching to people, but I see it a lot, and it's such a shame that we're losing so many lives. You know, when I was researching the girl that lost her life, very recently, this 16-year-old Malaysian girl, I don't know what she was going through. She obviously dealing with some mental health issues I saw in the article, and she posted on Instagram a poll, should she take her own life, and 69% of those people said yes. And this young girl literally believed these people when they basically said to her that her life wasn't worth living, and she killed herself. She killed herself because some thoughtless people who maybe thought it was a joke, who maybe didn't see like that it was a cry for help, and now she's gone. 16, another 16-year-old, because of online bullying and thoughtlessness. You need to have more thought to your actions. I'm a very strong person, even if I'm struggling with some issues at the moment. I'm not gonna kill myself. Y'all up there are not gonna drive me to kill myself. I will be done with YouTube before that day comes. You know, I did a video recently about taking a step back from YouTube and looking for a new job. And I never actually said like the main reason. I said like there are new goals I want to achieve in 2020, which is true, but the main reason why I'm going back to work is because when I'm ready to be done with YouTube and Ghost, because it's just too much, I'm going to be gone, and I'm going to have that backup. I'm going to be secure. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, I've got to stick around because this is my only source of it. Well, it's never been my only source of income anyway. But for me, like, I see that as a very strong possibility in the future. Like, girl, protect yourself, protect your peace, protect your mind. People, you would tell them you're struggling. You would tell them, it would be obvious that you're dealing with ish, but they do not care. That's the world we live in nowadays. People do not care. People do not think before they speak. So think before you speak, people. Think before you speak. Sorry that this has ended up being a bit preachy and ranty and just didn't really go the way I wanted it to go, but I love Patricia. I always have, always will. She's the one who inspired me to pick up my camera in the first place. And I may not agree with every decision she's ever made, but I don't have to, and it's her right to do as she pleases. I will never come for her, you know, unless it's something that is just... I will never come for anyone, to be perfectly honest. I will never come for anyone, but if I need to speak my mind about something that impacts the wider community, I will. So, I mean, we've just been me. I'd say we're looking good. We probably are, but we're feeling kind of like emotional wrecks. So, yeah, if you've enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.